Getting ready to start the show. Make sure Greg is back so he can interrupt me.
I'm back.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Nick.
Hi, Greg.
Hi, Nick.
Hey there. Hey there, beer tubers. Welcome back to
Hi,
Beer
Nick.
Analysis 101 Show and Swill edition. Tonight, we've got a selection of beers that we've all picked out. Just interesting stuff that's come our way in the last little while. We want to show off. First, let's go to who we have with us tonight. And guess who showed up first for once? Greg.
I'm like the Ashley Sexton. Everyone's going to steal my tasting notes for a beer that they're not drinking.
Yeah. Maybe that's why Ashley didn't show up tonight.
Damn.
So you can curse his foil.
No,
right.
he sensed that I was relatively close to him all day today, and he's been sharpening his various chopping tools. My cock will likely not
in case
survive.
He has to defend his wife or something. All right. So what you bring with you, Greg? What you get?
Do they make guillotines you can carry around your pocket?
He's working on it. He's got some logistic issues, but he has a nice big one in his backyard. It's scary.
Show the beer, buddy.
Showing the beer. So I went to Cayman
nice
Kettle
big
today.
one with a tiny little hole.
Listen, Nick, we all can't be you, okay? I mean, I do the best I can.
All right. What's your beer? What beer did you bring?
I went to Cayman Kettle today, since it's also fairly close to my new living. Well, not my living, but the new place I've bought. So I thought I'd try an oyster stout.
Ooh.
Tide and Vine oyster stout. It's 4.4%. And I know this isn't technically a Pride show, but we are still in Pride Month. And when I think of women performing oral sex on each other, I always think of finding oyster.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, there's a bit of a theme going there too. So.
Thank you for your pearls of wisdom there, Greg.
My fucking God.
Well, I always want to be helpful to the community.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Let's go over to Red Beer to cut away from Greg for a moment. Can you follow that up there, Redbeard? How you doing tonight, first of all?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm not doing too bad. Bit tired. But
good stuff. Beer I brought for tonight, I didn't even know I had. I have no memory of buying this in my fridge. This is The Time and the Space. It is from Small Pony Barrel Works. And this is a blend of golden and dark sour beers aged in oak barrels with raspberries, wild blueberries, and vanilla. 6.5%.
Okay.
Apparently 2021 is on there, so
that's that's pretty neat. So
yeah, I thought so.
I should be writing these down. What
is
it called again?
The Time and the Space. Got a really cool looking hourglass on it.
Mm-hmm.
The Time from what barrel works?
Small Pony Barrel Works, and they are located in Kanata, Ontario.
Weird. I've never heard of that. Even heard of that brewery.
I've had a couple of their beers before, but yeah, no idea when I bought this, where I bought this, when I bought this.
All right.
Yay!
Just found it.
It was behind some Bellwoods beers in my fridge.
Convenient. All right. Let's turn this out. It's one of your beers that your sister brought. Was anyway. I don't know.
Yeah. Good times.
Right on. All right. Thank you, Red Beer. Let's go over to Lady Lee. Hi, Lee.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. I'm okay.
So I brought, as we all know, Cadian. So
Nice.
Finally review this
beer. Canadian.
And that's super fresh, right?
So fresh. Freshest of all the freshesses of freshness. I don't know what this means, but it says F30. 2111.
30 could mean June last year.
What kind of beer is that? What is that?
It's a cream ale.
Okay. From Pump House. All right, interesting.
It's a Cadian, which Cadian is kind of slang term for Acadian around here. So Moncton, where that is from, is a big Acadian region. And it's even got the a half Canadian flag, half Acadian flag on the front of the can.
It is the beer that I'm bringing that I finally get to review because some people suck.
Dan. Dan's brother-in-law drank his can, so we never did the review of it. Well, Lady Lee got one all the way from New Brunswick. Oh well, live and live, I guess. All right, so thank you, Lady Lee. Let's last but hopefully not least, me. What have I got? I'm doing okay. I've got another can of beer. It's also actually from Moncton. This is from Tire Shack Brewing, Killed by Death, triple IPA.
I mean,
10%.
That's probably how we're all going to be killed, if we're being honest.
We're going to die to death.
Yeah, we're all going to die by death. Killed by death. This is kind of like a beer that looks like Dan would get in Alberta, to be honest. Like that label.
Well, he likes that death water, whatever it's called.
All right,
death is going to kill you until you die from it.
We got Lee Russell's in the chat saying pearls before swine. I think that's a comment about Greg's oyster pearl thing. Comment. He also says, "Oof, that Canadian is gonna taste bad. Will worse."
Interesting.
And of course, Nick getting sloshed early, which I think is a reference to this thing.
We like Nick getting
should have drank it 6 months ago. That is correct. We should have, except for we couldn't get a hold of Dan, and then somebody drank it on him. Yeah, Dan, like his bullshit overhyped water. Oh, that liquid. Oh yeah, that liquid death or something like that. It looks like a liquid death label, doesn't it?
Ooh. Mine's got a really cool, deep, dark, insane redness to it. Not really coming through on camera as well as it looks, but
pretty.
It looks thick.
Kind of does. It's like very, very cloudy. It's bottle conditioned, so like give her a little swirl.
All right, here we go.
So let's Greg's pouring his beer. Let's take a look at what he's got here.
All right, it's dark. Dark.
Well,
what's the
stouts
dark?
usually are.
Black blood of the earth or something like that. Let's have a look. I don't know anything about this beer, and they don't tell you anything about this beer because I know the oyster stouts. I'm assuming there's actually oysters in this one, but I know sometimes they don't have it in them. They just say it goes well with seafood.
You go well with seafood.
I mean, I probably do.
This is a really good oyster stout from Nova
As
Scotia.
I mentioned earlier, I do enjoy shucking the oysters. So,
oh shucks, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
I just tasted it. There's my history.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's apt because, like you say, this is your history. Is just these 5 seconds that you.
That's my history. Exactly.
All right. All right. Then let's go over to Greg. Or sorry, the Redbeard.
We look the same. So.
I'm always. Yeah. Well, from the eyes down, eyes up, like bald head.
Nice save, buddy. Nice save.
All bald people look alike.
Bald people.
Yeah. Wow, Nick. Wow. Must be nice to sit in your ivory tower of hair.
My ivory tower of hair. I've never heard of that before.
I'm just doing something really quick here. Pony, quick search.
I'll make you awake, Greg.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Half Remember Dream is the only beer I'm seeing on YouTube that I've reviewed from them. I know I've had at least one other beer from them, but yeah, the other beer I had from them, the other 2 beers or so I have had from them, I recall enjoying as well. So yeah, that's my history with that brewery.
Okay, let's go to Lady Lee. Now, I imagine
I have no history. It's not surprising.
Other than the fact that that's been sitting in your fridge since October.
So this beer came to me when I went to go visit in October of last year. Was told, hey, we're going to do a review with Dan. And then Lee said that he could join in because he got a Pump House pack. And then eventually we were all going to do the review because we had a few of us, including Carrie and I, because we were going to share this. And it went to shit because one person drank it, then the other person drank it, and the other person's like, oops, I don't have it anymore. So fuck all of you.
Hey, not me. I didn't drink one of those.
I do have a thing on the can that I would like to read. Canadian Cream Ale was the very first beer brewed by the Pump House Brewery on September 3rd, 1999. It was created to celebrate the beautiful blend of Canadian and Acadian cultures in Atlantic Canada, who raise their glasses and extend their hospitality to all who call Canada home.
Oh,
That is
nice.
it. The end.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, I guess that means I'm next, and I get to talk about my history with this beer. I can't remember all the different beers I've had from Tire Shack, but Tire Shack is a brewery that's been around since looks like 2019, according to their entries on Untapped. And I've had a few of the beers from these people and a few hazy IPAs from them. They've actually surprised me. Stupid camera. They've actually surprised me by making some pretty solid, not just like hazy IPAs, but solid other beers as well. Like I think the first beer I ever had from them was they make a Secret Society toasted marshmallow stout, which was actually pretty tasty when I first had it. That was like one of their first beers. They also make a beers that I've bought over the years, Arts and Labor IPA, and there's a couple others. I'd have to dig through their friggin' Hell's Lager. I remember having that. Just looking at their thing on Untapped. It makes me wish I'd actually kept up with Untapped and kept tracking beers that I've had from various breweries over the last couple months.
I can't quit Untapped. I have to keep doing it.
Yeah, I stopped doing it at like 2017 or something like that, and I just never got back to doing it. Just like keep drinking so many beers to keep up with it. But at the same time, like it was always nice to have a log of everything I drank. Like I miss it. And I should have kept up with it, but I didn't. And now we're having these awkward silences in the middle of me giving my history on this beer. So
How dare you.
as far as this one beer, like Killed by Death, this is the first time I've had it. It's a fairly new beer from them. That came out according to Untapped, came out last September. And this is my first opportunity to actually find a can. I picked this up. Like I did that. My local friends know that I did the 50K bike ride there on the weekend in a town called Sussex, and there was a brewery right across the street, and they were selling beers from all over the province. So I got a couple of cans of this just to try. They were like $6 a can, but my history is that I had one on Saturday night when I got home, and I was way too tired to remember drinking it.
There's a good history.
Anyway, alrighty. So
you had to earn this beer, right, Nick?
Dude, I had to earn this beer. I had sweat and tears trying to push up. That wasn't really crying. But there was some hills where I'm like, oh fuck these, like cursing and swearing at potholes in the road and shit.
Oh yeah, you start to see
like
it.
potholes. Those were goddamn ravines in the middle of the road.
Yeah, you saw the video. There's some pretty shitty roads.
It's like some kid was randomly playing Minecraft, fucking just digging.
Well, that's the thing. Like, there's generations and generations of every time there's a pothole in the road, they patch it. Then they just patch the holes. And they just patch the hole. Now you got like 7 different layers in places of fucking patches. It's just like you might as well just have a dirt road. You know? Alrighty, so what's I was 2 and other people bitched out. I don't know what he means by that.
The beer.
Oh.
The beer that I'm doing today.
Oh yeah, they're talking about that. Like Dan had the can. I've already reviewed it on my channel, so it's like, well, if we're gonna have a review anywhere, then we'll do it on Dan's channel. And I had a couple extra cans, and I gave you when you were visiting, and so Lee said he could get one. So we were like, okay, we could have a 4-way review with Dan, and then that review never happened. And anyway, we're blaming it on Dan. I'm sure he'll blame it on me.
And Lee.
I mean, it could reasonably be either one of them.
All right, so usually they just put the shells in the boil.
Oyster stout.
Oh, with the oyster stout.
Yeah, actually, I'm just trying to look that up to see if they give any information on it, but it doesn't look like.
I've only had, I think, 2, maybe 3 oyster stouts, and I really, really, really enjoyed one of them. The other one was okay, but I really enjoyed the one I had.
Like
I've had a few.
Go ahead, Nick.
Oh, I'll pan it there to everybody. Keep talking. Haley was
No,
going to say something.
I've had. I mean, I always like the idea of an oyster stout. I've probably had 6 or 7. I've never tasted one that remotely tasted like seafood. So I mean, even if you're somebody who doesn't like seafood, it's not going to be offensive to you. On the other hand, if you're somebody who wants to taste like clam chowder, you're not getting that either. So,
Well, no, it's going to have like a. Usually, an oyster stout's got like a touch of brininess to it, like a little salty. Like a little bit of that kind of seafoodish kind of like hint to it. The best one I can remember is there's one brewery called Sober Island in Nova Scotia that makes one called the Sober Island Oyster Stout, I think, and it's pretty friggin' tasty. But I've had there's I think the original one of the style is Marston's Oyster Stout, and I think somebody brought that to the one of the Albino Rhino Beer Fest bottle shares. So I'd have to look it up and see all the ones I've had. I know I've had like 3 or 4. There's like a brewery in northern New Brunswick that makes an oyster stout that's pretty tasty.
I would imagine Maritime's oyster stouts would be tasty.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah, I'd have to look it up and see how many oyster stouts I've had.
I got it right up here. I'm going to read.
All right.
What is simultaneous in one frame of reference will not necessarily be simultaneous in another. Simultaneity be damned. We managed to arrive at a unique point in time and space where a single experimental raspberry dark sour beer reached maturity as Wild Blue Yonder was ready for release. Wild Blue Yonder is another one of the beers. I looked it up. We held back a portion of this over-concentrated wild blueberry beer for this fortunate blend, and then used a touch of vanilla to lend a sweetness to this dessert-worthy beer. Weird.
Nice. I just found the write-up about Killed by Death on Tire Shack's website. This is Killed by Death is not your average IPA, and it's not a double IPA either. It's a triple IPA, and they're not. Well, they say, it says fucking around, but it's got like F and a couple of like @ symbol, pound symbol, dollars. Anyway, it is so insanely smooth and balanced that you would never guess it's 10%. Loaded with Mosaic, Citra, and Vic Secret hops. If you like your haze bomb, IPAs on steroids, this is a must try. I'll decide whether or not this is smooth.
Nick's not putting up with
anyone. I make the fucking rules here.
Wow.
Lee says, yeah, like Nick said, just a little salty character, and the Sober Island is good, yes.
Nick can be a salty character sometime.
I like how the first comment you just read there started with Lee saying yeah, and then the second one finished with him saying yeah. It was kind of fun.
Wow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Double yeah. It's a yeah sandwich for Lee Russell.
There you
go. All the rest of his words are just baloney.
Baloney. Sasha's here. There's Sasha.
So is Arnold.
We got 4 watches right now. If anybody else is watching, I mean, Lee's been pretty good. But if anybody else is watching, feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you're drinking, or even if you have any questions. We always read the comments on screen. So, I'm trying to take a good look. I gotta write down my tasting notes. You know me.
Yeah, no, me too. I'm writing down all sorts of interesting stuff to tell you guys.
He just made a comment here saying some believe that the oysters were originally used as an alternative to isinglass to clarify the beer. That's pretty cool. That's true.
Why the apostrophe?
Because he wanted to.
Oh Lord, get to read into everything. Red beer, jeez.
Because he felt like it.
I can't. My brain can't process that thought unless it's properly punctuated.
Yeah.
Me fail English? That's impossible.
Yeah, I mean, I figure Lee Russell. He runs the #1 maritime review channel, so he would definitely know about oyster stouts.
You're not wrong.
He's the only one.
I imagine that was probably a dig towards me, Greg. But you know, he's got like 3 or 4 times as many subscribers as I do.
Well, another
You know? He adds
that's
some credibility to my
subscribers.
show when he joins.
No, every once in a while I pop onto my YouTube and I see that he posts a video occasionally, and I never get any new Maxwell Starr beer reviews. It's so sad. Take the crown back.
I spend too much time hanging out every Wednesday with my buddy Greg.
I mean, it's true. You do that. You have committed your life. You're like the equivalent of a priest, basically. You've committed your life to a life.
Celibacy.
Well, not celibacy, but like committed to this lifestyle.
Speaking of which, you just got juice on myself. All right, so he says no solid agreed upon origin, just like the IPA. So, because he wasn't paying attention, Carrie, fuck you.
Oh, there we go.
All to do with grammar.
It's been resolved.
Because life's too boring, nuts too. Holy shit, Joe! Hey, Joe! I'm only here because someone said Maxwell Starr's beer reviews. Where? When?
Oh,
is that why Joe doesn't hang around with us anymore? Is because I don't upload videos anymore?
No, he
Other
won't
than
hang
bike
out with us
rides
because I keep
Because
harassing
Greg's in the
him about
chat.
his uniform. But I promise, Joe, I will not talk about the fact that you're not wearing a uniform, even though you should be wearing a uniform. Because anyone calling themselves the Beer Patrol should be wearing a uniform because very clearly you're, a person of authority, and if people are going to take you seriously, you should have a uniform on. But I'm not going to talk about uniforms. Anyways.
This
So
is
in
the
other
reason
words,
why Joe is not in the chat.
because
of
the
Greg.
toxicity of Greg.
Just entirely
Talking about
Greg.
uniforms all the time. Doesn't want to hear about it.
Listen.
Greg is his own worst enemy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm still somehow married. How does that work, eh?
I don't know.
Very tolerant. Some women are very tolerant.
He must be a very good sugar daddy.
No, she's a sugar mama, really. If I showed you her paycheck and I showed you my paycheck, you'd marry her very quickly.
So the sex is really good.
No, I'd say I'm pretty mediocre at that too. I mean, I'm always
Agnes,
happy.
if you need a wife, I'm wifey material.
Oh yeah. Oh, no doubt she'd like to shuck your oysters.
All right, so no, Nick figured it. His lack of beer reviews has pushed you away from BA 101 to the point where I fantasize about one day Nick coming back and saving the entire scene. One day.
That actually is a pretty
Highly
Russell. Hey, Joe.
I like how you read them.
All right.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Yo, sup, bro?
I gotta just
Alrighty.
Lee's comments like he's so sad and down and out. Hey, Joe. How's it
Hi,
going?
Joe. Like Eeyore?
Exactly.
Hey,
Hey,
guys. Hey, guys. It's a
Hey,
really
guys.
nice day today.
fuck you, Carrie.
Oh, that's right. Eeyore is a lot more positive than he is.
Wow. That's fine.
All right. You want to get the show back on the road, and we talk about the beers that we have. Greg, you want to start off with talking about?
Oh
your
yeah,
Oyster Stout?
I almost drank this beer. So anyway, it's a stout. It's 4.4%. So obviously should be imperial. It's not even regular. It's light. I will say for a 4.4% stout, just trying to figure out if he's going to knock something over or not. For a 4.4% stout, it's got a reasonable medium body. I just realized that this says 950 milliliters on it. I'm pretty sure this is not 950. They lied to me. Hold on, they lied to me.
Well done, Cayman Kettle.
You know what they're doing? They're just reusing their crowler labels and putting on regular cans.
That is it. Hey, that's funny.
Bastard.
What? They didn't even put a sticker on it?
Yeah, apparently they do, I guess, because this is one of their regulars, and they held out on doing regular size cans for a while. They're just doing their big ass crowlers, but it's got a medium body, not bad for a stout this light. I do think I get that brininess, but I don't know. You guys may have just stuck that in my head, and now it's stuck there. I don't know. Like it's not a bad stout. It's got a little bit of toastiness, not much chocolate. kind of there. Like I'm not enjoying it, but there's just really nothing that great about it. Like I'm just gonna. It's really a 7 for me. It's totally fine, but there's just nothing there's nothing I'd say is amazing about this stout. But if you just want a light stout, it's good. So there we go.
Joe's comment. It's a stout. It's 4.4%. Well, I've seen it heard enough. See you later.
There you go, Joe. Well,
Later, Joe.
Listen, I'm also not wearing a uniform, and nobody should take me seriously because I clearly am not an authority figure.
Apparently, it's because
I do have a Josh shirt on. Look at that.
Nobody takes it seriously because people think you keep talking about uniforms or something.
I don't think I talk about uniforms all that often, but sometimes I just say the word uniform. It's like a form of Tourette's syndrome.
Right.
Jesus.
Okay. Thank you, Greg. So, what was your ratings on that for style and overall?
Oh, well, overall 7 style. I mean, am I rating as an oyster stout? Because I haven't had enough to really rate it. As a light stout, I don't know, 7.5, 7 for overall enjoyment.
All right. Okay. Let's move over to Redbird.
This is really, 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 really good. Got all kinds of vanilla coming through with the smell, and then some of the berry and like the little bit of kind of oakiness, and then in the flavor, the barrel's there. It's good. It's bracingly sour, like initially, and then it just smooths out. And the blueberry flavor is there in a big way. The raspberry flavor is there in a big way. Vanilla's there. It's, like Greg said, it's not imperial. Everything should be imperial, but
everything,
but
including just
for barrel-aged sour beer, this is one of the best I've ever had. 10s across the board, because why not? It's amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
10s across the board.
Tens across the board.
It's a fucking 10, sons. Just because Joe's here. All right, so lately, your beer, how did it hold up?
It actually held out pretty well, considering. It does not taste terrible. I honestly, though, I was gonna drink it. I thought it was gonna taste terrible, like awful. It does not. It tastes like a cream ale. It drinks like a cream ale. As for preference, this is not something I would lean towards. Like, I've had better cream ales. I think my issue is I've started with ones that were like a little bit darker, because the one from Manitoulин's like a little bit darker, like a little bit maltier, and I actually enjoyed that a lot better than this one. This one's a little bit lighter, like a lot lighter. So I am, for personal preference, I'm going to give it a 6.5. It's not terrible, and I'd rather give it a little bit more positive because I think it's better than a lot of other beers that I've had that I just wanted to throw down the drain. For style, I can definitely it tastes like a cream ale. Like, I don't know how to really describe it. I haven't had too many, but I taste differences and similarities between both, so obviously it did a good job. So for style, I'm going to give it an 8. Tastes like a cream ale.
So 6.5 for overall enjoyment and 8 for style.
I also only had 2 cream ales, so I'm comparing 2 of them. So my style might be terrible reference point, but hey, I'm learning.
All right. Thank you, Lady Lee. Let's almost called you Mr. Lady Lee.
Mr. Lady Lee. Well,
I just used to call everybody Mr.
Hey,
this thing they call
you
you Mr.
month.
This is the month for, you got a penis. It's okay. Anyway.
In fact, we encourage it.
All right, so I should
I leave the chat?
Anyway,
no, we just want you to grow a penis. That's all we're asking.
Oh, fuck. All right. Let's move on to Killed by Death. Killed by.
Wow.
Alrighty. Okay, I will tell you this tastes nothing like the liquid death beer or water that Dan drinks. So despite having a similar label, this is actually pretty nice. Like it's like it's kind of like is like a double IPA in a way. It's I find it it's smooth. It's got notes of like passion fruit and like apricot stone fruit, maybe a little bit of grapefruit in there as well. It's smooth. It's a bit on the sweet side. Like it's not cloyingly sweet, but it does come off as maybe a bit heavy, like a little bit of like a grape sweetness and resin in the back finish but it's not cloying. With a little bit of hop burn at the end. I guess the big thing comes on, it's a little bit on the heavy side where he's like, tell that it's close to 10% like they're advertising. It's big and punchy, and it does pretty much everything it says it does. They tell you that you can't tell it's 10%. No, I mean, this thing's fucking heavy, man. This is actually pretty robust when it comes to the booze department. Like, I don't think it's boozy, but I can tell there's a lot of alcohol in it, but I don't mind it because, I mean, it's a triple IPA. This is kind of what I want. But I will admit that none of the triple IPAs I've had, like when I could think of like Sparkle Puff or something like that, the alcohol is much better masked. I mean, it's still pretty well masked, but it's like Sparkle Puff almost tastes like you're drinking like just a normal IPA, but except for when you look at the ABV of it and you're like, holy fuck. And I think there was other triple IPAs that I can't remember right now that I had that have been a bit less on the heavy boozy side than this, but this is still pretty decent. And the biggest thing to me is that if New Brunswick Brewery wants to make a triple IPA and put it like a regularly stocked item in like new NB liquor shelves, like right now, this is like available at the brewery and in whatever bottle shop or some like other breweries around the province might have like a selection of other beers from different breweries. Probably like Pickeroon's General Store in St. John will have some. In this case, it was Sussex Ale Works in Sussex that I picked this up from. That'll have a selection of beers that aren't in the NB liquor stores. I wish this was actually in NB liquor stores because I probably would buy this more often. 10%, you can't go wrong. This is like the Fax 10 of hazy IPAs, and I'd be all over that shit. So, it's way better than Fax 10. It's also like double the price, but at the same time, it's like I would drink the shit out of this. If I had more, I'd have like a few of these in the fridge. Because, I mean, you want to get that quick drunk while tasting hops? Sure. So, I got to say for the style, I'm going to give it an 8.5. And for overall enjoyment, 8.25. Yeah. There you go. There's my thought. And wow, we got a shit ton of comments. Lee has asked the magic question of what's next week's beer. We will get back to that. Okay, so Beer Patrol says Greg is an unhealthy obsession with uniforms, not to mention jackets he buys and returns. See, it's become even worse over time. You're not wrong. In your absence, we're even missing you, Joe, to act as a bulkhead against Greg.
Thanks.
Yeah, like you, because we didn't have you around here. Greg has gone even more insane. And he's also, when he was talking about lately, talking about a cream ale, like Joe was talking about Jenny cream ale, which is like what's Jenny? It's Genesee cream ale. I had it. I believe I've tried that, and it was like, yeah, it's like the staple cheap ass beer from like northern New York. All right, so Greg says, and now I have more access to Sexton. Returns incoming. Yeah, it's got his mom's new house in Welland. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pretend that it's a rewrapped Jenny cream ale can. You know what? It actually isn't that far off of Jenny cream ale. And now Joe gets mad. This is why he left us. It's Joe says, "Get the fuck out of the chat, Greg. You're on the panel. Not allowed to type here." Yeah. It'd be the best for all of us if Nick left. Fuck's sakes, Nick. What the hell?
Wow.
Where'd that come from, Joe? Here I am defending you the entire night.
Wow.
Holy shit! I'm glad that was Arnold. I thought when Nick was going down for the count.
Yeah, that was when Arnold was horking one up.
Oh,
So I muted myself.
Jesus Christ.
could have been me. Alrighty.
This is a pleasant chat.
We've just been great tonight.
All right, let's circle around to everybody once more and say, Greg, of all the beers that you saw here tonight, which one would you have rather have had?
I would rather have had Lady Lee's beer, but drank it like a couple months ago, so she would have been pissed off at me.
All right.
Fuck you.
See, that's all I'm fishing for.
All right. Red beer, which one of all the beers you served here tonight, which one is you rather have had?
Yours.
Mine?
Oh,
Yep.
I'm not totally not surprised by this. This beer is like right up your alley. All righty, so let's go over to Lady Lee. And of all the
Sorry, Carrie, yours was a raspberry stout?
No, raspberry, blueberry, vanilla, barrel aged sour.
Sour, okay. And I can't remember yours, Nick. I'm sorry. I have a really terrible
it's
memory.
triple
triple IPA.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Carrie's because I remember he was talking about the fruit and stuff, and I thought
I think you'd enjoy this one. It's very fruity.
I do enjoy sours as well, so that's up my alley for sure.
Tasty stuff.
All right. And finally, it's me to decide the winner here because, well, there's like one vote for everybody except for Greg. And it's not that we don't love Greg. In fact, his beer is one that I would like to try, and I'm pretty sure I've had before. But, I mean, I got to admit, the one that Redbeard brought tonight looks fucking awesome.
The bottle itself looks really cool.
Yeah. Well, it was like a barrel aged, like especially they call themselves barrel works. It must have been like aged in some kind of, I don't know, let's just say what kind of barrels it was aged on or what.
It says oak barrels. I don't know anything beyond that.
Just virgin oak, probably.
But yeah, it's delicious.
It sounds. I'm not really big for sours, but that sounds like. Then you just start talking about virgin oak. I'm like, and no, Greg, I'm not thinking necessarily virgins.
Okay,
maybe yes, but I mean, but like
virgin oak,
sours aged
full
on
of splinters.
Sours or saisons or something like that, aged on oak or something that are pretty friggin' tasty. All right. So let's go circle back to the last comment since we know that Carrie here is the winner tonight.
Yeah.
You're the winner.
Doesn't happen often in my life, so yeah, good stuff.
You're gonna go shoot off his spider webs in celebration.
I usually just win because Greg likes my boobs.
This is true.
That's
pretty much. All right, so the magic question has been asked. Let me bring up the thing from Mr. Lee. What is next week's beer? And next week's beer is going to be from Collective Arts, go figure. Daily Forecast Mimosa style beer, made with fresh mimosa oranges.
Mimosa oranges.
Yeah,
mimosa
made with fresh
fruit.
mimosa orange fruits.
So
yeah. So this should be interesting. Yet another Collective Arts beers, because that seems to be everything that's sad. That, well, one, they're good beers, but at the same time, this seems to be all the new Envy Liquor gets that I can get, that you guys can get, unless you guys send me a beer mail or some crap. So this is all on you.
Hint.
No. I just say this is all on you, Envy Liquor. All right. So
Joe should start sending beer mails again in a uniform, of course.
all I gotta say is I miss Joe.
We do like Joe, but then Joe decided he didn't like us anymore.
Well, he likes us enough to watch tonight. I'm just saying, like, Joe, we miss you, man.
He was probably gonna
Come
hope
back to us.
one of us would get severely injured or something. And he
You know,
didn't
look at Nick fishing for beer meals. It's like, what are you? It's not like I'm trying to set up a beer trade with anyone.
yeah. Nick, we can't see you.
I'm not trying to set up a beer trade, but if anybody wants to do a beer trade.
Nick, can you get closer? We can't see you. Oh, yeah, no, we can see you now. Okay, yeah. Well, you see both your eyes. You're not doing it right. Gotta get right up. Can I do that?
What are we doing?
Hi.
What is going on?
Guys, can you see me?
Hey, can you see me?
I can see you
You see
too
me, guys?
close.
Can you see me? You see me?
This is a thing made of nightmares.
You
I
guys-
actually like the way you said that. That was like, not what nightmares made of. This is that I like that. That was great.
and now you're going to grammar hell.
No, it was awesome. Sometimes it works.
Yes,
Joe says, correction, I dislike you, Greg. I love everyone else. And he
that's
swallows that up.
reasonable.
Yeah, I'll take that. Joe says, I'll send you all the mimosa fruit beers, Steve or Nick. You know what? I still have both my feet. So
What?
Oh,
What?
Jesus.
What am I missing? What the fuck?
we'll just play it offline.
Ah!
And not Steve Orr asking for beer trades. Lee doesn't know why this is happening. It's better this way. You know what? He's not wrong.
I know. Right now,
And-
she's
guess who
terrified.
else is in the chat?
Oh,
Mr. Chris Lezak.
Hi, cutie. I was talking to my cat.
Golly,
My cat came
Probably,
by. Thought it was a hi, cutie.
kitty.
You want to be on camera? No, she doesn't want me holding her. She's like, "Why are you holding me? I want to adventure somewhere else."
I want to go eat food.
She wants to eat the other cat's food. That's what she wants
There
to
we
do.
go.
She's like, "Oh, my food, even though it's the same, I want to eat the other cat's food."
Well, that cat is just like, don't touch me. I don't want to be near you.
She's kind of
All right.
flops. She flops. There's her head. My little floppy kitty.
Lee said hi, cutie, to me. Nah, I'm pretty sure he was talking to the cat. Well, maybe she was talking to both, you know.
I mean, Chris is interviewing for sister wife number 4, so
Jesus
I got it.
Christ. All right. Well, yeah. So yeah, next week tune in for Mimosa Fruit IPA or whatever that is. I need more beer.
Fruits
So-
from mimosas.
Exactly. Well, first and foremost, I want to thank Joe. We miss you, Joe. We wish you were on here. And Carrie is going to leave everybody with a message for everyone.
Just waiting.
So thank you, Lou. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Chris, for in the chat, and Lee. And we'll talk to you folks later.